okay?
Come with me if you want to live.
Hello everyone, Skippy here, and welcome to One Piece episode 1022. Directed by Yusuke Suzuki from his and Yutaka Nakashima's board and supervised by Masayuki Takagi. The Hyokuro chapters are by far not my favorite in Onigashima, but I'm interested to see how the anime will seemingly expand on them with Yusuke Suzuki's ever-improving direction and storyboard, that's only helped by the fact that Yutaka Nakashima will be helping out on certain other aspects, presumably regarding content other than Hyokuro. When Masayuki Takagi is there to put a polished bow on things with his intense art that I'm always here for, will episode 1022 manage to outdo content that I didn't particularly care for originally? Let's chill out and find out. This episode covers the rest of chapter 1006, and for what it's worth, it sticks fairly close to the structure of the original chapter, but takes the time necessary to make Hyokoro's actions on the live floor feel much more memorable and not just glossed over, by showing it a lot more and even having him go the extra mile and intimidate Apu's group, and being the one that calms down one of Wano's samurai over the Ice Oni virus. Which goes a long way in giving the episode actual sympathy and emotion over the Yakuza boss that was kinda missing in the manga, because it kinda just came and went with his little monologue before it cut to Marco's action. And the surrounding direction really does do wonders in terms of adding to that emotion, especially when we're also shown what happens when the virus infects Hyokuro so much that he starts being violent towards his own friends. Couple that with some nice cutaways to Chopper that further the story a bit more, as well as more roof piece stuff that further bridges the gap, that shows what we weren't privy to before Oda revealed Hybrid Kaido himself, on top of a fairly heartwarming filler scene with Luffy and Hyokuro, and I'd say the adaptation here once again has the best qualities of the level of adaptation this arc, and Suzuki truly knows how to bring it all home with competently selected OST above all else, which is then combined with his storyboard. While not too focused on scale, the sheer amount of really nice, if a bit simple compositions present in Suzuki's board really do pop, and make up for the more limited action on the visual side of things when it comes to the boss himself. Constantly being battered in the pinks of the flower petals of the Wano country, as well as his own Ryuo, that really does wonders as the primary color of the episode next to blue as it tells his story. It's definitely not as strong as his past two episodes, I feel like they just had a bit more, but it's consistent and knows what it's trying to bring to life at the very least, and it does so well and in simple ways at that. And while Nakashima's board for the Marco action definitely lists a lot from the manga, which is fine as the general flow was really solid within it, it doesn't feel like it's lifted from an entirely different episode, and the camera shakes and pans during certain key moments feel relatively modern for him in a way that I wasn't expecting. Though, in all honesty, it could have been Suzuki's own execution of it as well. And when Chu Young-seo shows up for a bit to make Marco's fighting the definitive highlight of the episode, by smearing the Phoenix and his opponents all about and making each impact hard-hitting, it only gives the episode a further layer of polish on top of Masayuki Takagi's wild and clean corrections that makes 1022 pretty good overall. It's not an absolutely amazing episode, but it gets what it should expand down so right, and is so thematically consistent that it deserves to be noteworthy for that alone. As Oda himself clearly gave this character the short end of the stick when all was said and done, and it's nice to see him given the care that it was needed. Next week we'll once again have a recap episode, so we won't get to see what happens in the Magic Bus episode that greets us right after it just yet, but we'll be coming back in 2 weeks of course to find that all out. Anyways guys, it's it for now. I'm Skippy, and Ice Oni Chopper goes kinda hard.